Someone recently posted a question about how to contextualize Althusser's concept and explanation of ideology within a discussion of dystopian sci-fi or science fiction novels. This is my brief response to that question. So I will try to answer this question, but first let me briefly talk about the question itself. To be honest, I don't have a clear understanding of what contextualizing theory means. Does it mean that you take a theory and then try to figure out whether it's present in a given novel or not? I highly recommend not to do that. For me, theory or philosophy is that you read it, you develop a certain way of looking at the text, and then you take that way of looking at the text and read the text from that perspective. But always being aware of this idea that you are inhabiting a perspective. So if we take these brief insights in mind, then let's say, okay, can we use Althusser's explanation of ideology to read dystopian novels? In order to do that, we first have to have a general understanding of Althusser's discussion of ideology. I have a whole lecture on that, which you can watch, but briefly stated, the difference between Althusserian concept of ideology and Marx's concept is that in Marx, ideology is this false veil, which needs to be removed for us to see the real world, to see it from our own class interest point of view. For Althusser, we are all born in ideology, and ideology is what enables us to make the world intelligible to us. We translate the world and understand it according to the ideology that we are in. These are some subtle differences between Marxian concept of ideology and Althusser's take on it. So let's take just these brief insights that ideology is what makes the world intelligible to us. We understand the world according to the ideology in which we are in. Now, can we take it and apply it to a dystopian novel? Absolutely, any dystopian novel. Let's say we go to Parable of the Talents, Octavia Butler, a series, right? And there is a group of people who call themselves Earthseed. These are the people who have taken upon themselves to save the future of humanity. So we could trace what are their beliefs? How do those beliefs govern their actions in the world? And what do they achieve? All of that is the characters seeing the world through the ideology that they've either adopted, were born in, or are part of, right? And that would be an Althusserian way of looking at a dystopian text. You could go to any other novels. William Gibson, Neuromancer. Okay, so we have the main character, Chase, and a representation of the sprawl. And then we can trace through his thoughts and actions as to how he views that world. The world that he's moving in is, the urban sprawl. In that he believes that in order to survive, he needs to be innovative and he needs to do everything, right? And then within that, he needs to take it for granted that people have enhancements, people use trodes, they live mostly the life of the mind. And if you cannot do that, you're just meat, right? That is the ideology of the sprawl that underwrites Chase's worldview. So, in my opinion, yes, absolutely. You can take any literary theory or any theory and then trace it within a given text, but read a text with those insights. And then you can see, is there a character who is in a certain given ideology? How do they live within it? How do they transcend it? And if they transcend it, what causes that transcendence, right? And so those would be some of the ways of looking at how to use, in this case, Althusser's explanation of ideology in reading dystopian novels or any other novels. So that's all I have to say about this topic. This is just to answer briefly a question that was posed to me. Now, please keep in mind that I have a whole playlist on Marxism. It will come up towards the end of this video. I hope you take a look at it. And there are quite a few videos there on Althusser, on Marxism, but especially on ideology. I hope those are useful to you. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much. Stay safe, take care. And as always, I will now see you next time. Until then, peace and love.